Welcome back again with me, Nathan, at the Titik channel. Okay, continue with the previous story, but if friends haven't subscribed, I beg you to subscribe first so you don't miss the next video, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Check it out. Unaccompanied, Sophia, Leo, and Thomas went straight to the bank mentioned earlier, where there was no question about Thomas's travel route. He is far more familiar than Leo because he started from his job as a drone pilot who, when they got there en masse, was asked to remove the chip from Leo's body so that Russian technology would not detect his presence.
Does it hurt?
Of course it fucking hurts.
Have the capability to detect the signal.
They put your tracker on your back?
Cut it out, Hart. Keep it here.
Yes, with great vigilance, the two of them began to enter the bank room, and one of these hard members managed to overthrow Leo. However, due to his lack of experience, Thomas almost aimed his shots at a group of bank employees who should have been secure.
Eckhart, tell him Koval's in the building. Where's the vault? Get them out of here! Alone? Now!
So, on the other hand, it seems that their arrival has been noticed by a hard group. So not long after that, action shootout ensued.
What the fuck are you doing here, Hart?
Yes. Apart from having more emotional levels than ordinary humans, it has been proven that Leo also has combat skills that are very witty and agile. Even when a game unit attacks, he can handle it very, very easily. While trying to secure the employees of the bank, Thomas asked Mr. Colonel to send help immediately. Meanwhile, Leo kept running to avoid being shot by another gaming unit to reach the safe. Meanwhile, Thomas managed to secure several employees, and together with that, reinforcements were seen arriving. Even though in his heart, Thomas really regretted the decision of the headquarters, which turned out to only send GAM troops.
Good job, Harv.
So at the same time, the official group came out taking the remaining bank employees hostage, followed by 4 Russian game units, which then took their steps to shoot.
Бросайте оружие! Let them go! No one else has to get hurt! Давай, что ждёшь?
After killing one more game unit, Cleo caught another violent group that seemed to have gotten the access code box. Because he didn't want to be left behind, Leo immediately attacked them and chased the person who was trying to take his box away to the roof of the building. In front of the building, Thomas tried to calm down the stern commander, who seemed to be getting annoyed with him for not dropping his weapon. But, unexpectedly, an American game shot the commander dead. With that, the battle between games ensued. In the midst of the fierce battle, suddenly the headquarters asked Thomas to move away immediately, remembering that they had decided to bury Victor Koval along with the ruins of his building. As for Leo and the civilians who were still there, they thought of it as collateral damage or something that should have been sacrificed.
Go for Eckhart. Eckhart, the cops are firing on civilians!
Unless you want to be that cautionary tale, you better move your ass, son.
We are about to take out Koval. You need to move your ass now.
ETA to target. T-minus 1
On the
minute.
ground, sir! Leo's still in there!
Captain Leo's collateral.
Target locked.
Get down! Get down!
A shot run destroyed the building. Meanwhile, Thomas looks up from the building next to him, in a situation where now he can really feel how terrible war is when he is one of those who is directly in it. The story goes into a car where Thomas is already beside Leo. It turns out that they were the only two who survived the explosion, but when he was again asked to report immediately, it turned out that Leo already had other plans and still didn't want to do it.
Great. Let's call it in. What the fuck are you up to, Leo?
The fact that I can act of my own volition scares you, right?
No, you need me to validate to stop the fucking car.
Or what?
Regardless of what was the main goal, Leo Thomas began to realize that Leo wanted to make him feel the punishment for his actions in the past, so he was very sorry for trusting Leo too much, including removing the image of the deep ear from his body, which was actually just so he wouldn't be tracked by. Surveillance. United States military.
You disabled U.S. military hardware. I see you, You brought me here, then humiliated, and with nobody to believe anything I say, I'm a drone pilot with a history of gross disobedience.
From there, Thomas finally decided to separate himself, and Leo released Thomas in this way until he was found by members of the militia who immediately took him to meet Sophia. Here, Thomas just realized that Victor was not there when the bank explosion occurred, where Sophia also explained that the other side of Leo is a person who cannot pretend to be kind to an immoral act, so that is the reason he defected from the United States commander who behind the banner of peace. They implied an agenda to destabilize Russia by expanding the conflict around that
The
country.
US wants to destabilize Russia by extending conflict in those countries. Rationalize this war because it serves their fucking agenda.
This is a peacekeeping mission.
The story shifts to Cleo, who finally discovers the whereabouts of Victor Koval with great courage. Leo urged Koval, or this Victor, to show him the location of the yard, but unfortunately Victor actually asked Leo to hand over the access code, which is now in his
I
hands.
want the location of perimeter.
I take perimeter. Then I dictate.
Victor's ambition is to keep his meter active. Then Leo responded as a serious threat, so he then threatened Victor back and managed to get what he wanted. After there was a great fight that caused Victor Koval to die there.
You should have never tried to kill me.
Okay, on the other hand, it seems that after Sophia was allowed to return to headquarters, Thomas always revealed everything he had experienced to the colonel, including Leo's problem that Thomas believed that he was heading to the silo location to immediately activate his nuclear perimeter.
Oval perimeter stuff, it's all bullshit.
Perimeter's real, sir. They all have the same goal. Nuke the U.S. mainland. Leo's playing the Krasnies and the resistance against each other.
With the help of a female drone pilot named Belle, finally Thomas was able to detect the vehicle Leo was driving at the same time. The colonel immediately gave a mandate to Tomas to immediately follow him to the location, which had also been found.
On a black Escalade, registration 1209, heading east.
That's him. Okay. Stay on him.
Copy that.
Don't lose him, Bill.
Let me do the right thing.
Right around the Russian border area. From a distance, Tama can already see 3 inactive nuclear reactor towers that can be ascertained. If that's where the meter was, then slowly Thomas began to approach it where several guards were found lying lifeless. Meanwhile, Leo seems to have started blaming the generator. Next, prepare the activator code with which the nuclear missile will immediately launch by itself. At first glance, Thomas doesn't look like a soldier just learning to wield a gun, and that's probably the result of his intense desire to be able to stop Leo. Unfortunately, Thomas did not have the slightest suspicion that Leo already knew of his arrival. And
What the fuck are you doing here, rookie?
yes, 3 shots of Thomas's gun were not enough to weaken Leo's body, other than because it was designed so strongly. Even though Bag has a strong intention to continue activating its nuclear missiles,
The war is fucking bullshit.
when Thomas came back to his senses, the captain was ready to fire his drone missile, and it was completely ignored. Thomas, who has 5 minutes remaining, wants to make sure that Leo's mission is really a failure.
Drone is in position to strike. I need a sit report. Over.
Strike, I need a sit report now.
Try this!
Yes, it seems that the steel-piercing shot that just finished has succeeded in making Leo helpless. Until it became known that Leo's goal was to destroy his own creator, namely the United States, where by continuing to develop android army technology like Leo, it would undoubtedly provoke war on Earth to occur, which should have ended.
This is the motherfucking truth.
Why the fuck are you doing this, Leo?
Harp, do you copy?
They need to understand that these wars...
This is Lieutenant Harvey. Firming eyes on Leo.
Given the time permaternia, only 30 seconds remaining, Thomas immediately ran out of the silo right when Belle fired a missile which would deactivate her meter again.
Please don't be in there, Harp. Target destroyed. Missile disarmed.
For what Tomas has done, Mr. Captain decides to return him to his previous job, with which it is also ensured that Thomas will be able to get married next month.
Eckhart, come in. This is Lieutenant Harp. Mission complete.
You just saved the world. Harp, you should be proud, son.
Fighting and conquering enemies in war is not the highest skill. The highest prowess occurs when you are able to stop the enemy without any resistance. Remember, love is similar. War is easy to start but hard to end me. Titik, representing the peace-loving community, says thank you and see you in the next video.